Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Colour Cave, where we like to play with art stuff. My name is Jem, and I am thrilled to bring you this Sunday video, which is our latest Scrawlrbox for September. As I pointed out in the last unboxing, we have another dent. I don't know what my postie's doing to my mail these days. It is Sunday, so there are items in the stash shop. I know it's been a little bit quiet for new items this past few weeks, but I have been pretty busy and otherwise engaged. But you can go and check out the website for some new and used art supplies to fit your budget and maybe treat yourself. So, monthly Scrawlrbox, art subscription box based here in the UK, featured artist, some surprise goodies, a sticker and so on, and a prompt so that we can use the supplies in the box and create something beautiful, or maybe just create something. So let's get fired in. Ooh. Okay, ooh, featured artist, nice. This looks like charcoal. And yes, that makes me super happy. This is lovely. I absolutely adore stuff like this. I'm really into monochromatic colour schemes, not so much for my art, but to look at, you know, as an art appreciator rather than an artist. So this is right up my alley. And this probably belongs somewhere near where I live by the looks of things, especially in winter. Robert Dutton, he lives in North Yorkshire. Oh, so this might be the Yorkshire Moors. Painting, yeah, North York Moors, Yorkshire Dales, East Yorkshire Coast and Lake District. Beautiful part of England. If you've never been, highly recommend it. So he's got an Instagram and a website, so you can check out more of his work there if you like this. I will most certainly be doing that and probably following on Instagram. Righty-ho, so we usually get a surface to draw on, and this time is no exception. And I am absolutely in love with this Clairefontaine paper. I've got it in quite a few colours. It is a mixed media paper, and I find it does really well with pastels and everything. And this is like a denim colour, and I don't have this colour. So it's A5, and there is a little bit of texture on the paper. It takes water really well. So I am super excited to have this paper, I really am. 250 GSM, so if you're going to want to watercolour on it, not that you would on that colour, I don't think, you would have to be, you know, go easy with the water because it will buckle eventually. Yay! Okay. So here is our sticker, and we like to play the game of where it fits in the image. Now this one might just not be quite so easy. Well, there's a bit of sky. Is it? Yeah. Oh, it's a scaled down version because here's the river. So yeah, it's a smaller version, so it doesn't fit in my jigsaw puzzle this time. Our sweet this month is a blackjack. This is a licorice type sweet. I used to eat these as kids all the time. They make your teeth and your tongue go black and everything. They're really chewy. Mr. Jem will be having that. We have our little Scrawlr zine, which gives us some more information on our supplies and a few other arty bits and bobs to keep your creative juices flowing. I like to read through this with a cup of tea, but we'll take a quick scoosh through it after we've looked at our supplies. Okay, we have an art graph Viarco tailor shape water soluble something or other. What is this? I thought this was like a kneaded eraser, but it's not. Ooh, this is exciting. I've never seen one of these before. Oh, goodness me. Oh, it's heavy. Oh, it looks like a little tiny bar of soap. How cute is that? Okay. Oh, inspired by Taylor's chalk, Art Graph Tailor Shape is a rich pigment block designed for drawing and painting. Extremely soft and water soluble. Oh, it smells weird as well. Allows you to create a wide range of shades from light ones to deep ones and opaque colours. I am super excited about this. I love it when I get an art supply I've never had before. So I'm looking forward to trying that out. We've got some pencils. We have got Faber-Castell Pitt Graphite Matte. Oh, that's interesting. A 14B, so that's like practically charcoal. Wow, that's exciting. I don't actually own a 14B pencil. Does that mean I've failed as a pencil monster? So yeah, that's going to be really soft, dark, smudgy, squishy lines. So look forward to that. And we've also got a 6B as well. Again, the matte thing tends to lean itself towards charcoal more than graphite, because if you've ever done the test, see if you scribble with charcoal, if you scribble with graphite and keep going, it takes on like a sort of shiny surface to it. We've got a Faber-Castell Goldfaber white pencil here. I don't know if this is one of their normal coloured pencils or whether it's like a pastel pencil. It feels quite light. I have used Goldfaber supplies in the past, and they're what I would say are like a student grade pencil, and I really like their watercolour pencils, so I'm looking forward to trying that out too. a Derwent blending stump. Blending stumps coming out my ears. If you want an explanation of what these are, you can check out the Artful unboxing video, which was the last Sunday's video. I go into a bit of detail about how to use them and things like that. So check that out if you want more information on those. Charcoal blocks. Ooh. I'm loving that we've got Derwent Supplies because I really like Derwent Supplies on the whole. Apart from their pastel pencils, they're horrible. Funny, I said that in last Sunday's video as well. Really don't like them. I love that they've packaged these up in a little box so that they don't get all mucky with everything. Okay, so we've got graphite sticks. I kind of can't read what that says there. There's medium, so I'm assuming it would be light, medium and dark. Oh no, hard. Soft, medium and hard maybe. So 3 of those on that side, and we've got charcoal here, which is light, medium and dark on this side. Oh, we're going to get messy fingers this month. Okay, so let's see if we can learn a little bit more. The Graphite Blocks. Chunky sticks made from a perfected blend of charcoal and graphite. They are great for creating bold, dramatic sketches and atmospheric line drawings. Perfect for seamless blending, mixing and layering, and they're also water soluble too. Add a little water to create a subtle wash. Experiment with using the side of the block to create wide sweeping strokes and the ends, which can create finer, more precise lines. I do have a pack of graphite sticks for sale in the stash shop, so if it's something that you maybe want to try out, you can check those out. The graphite matte pencils, I'm quite interested in these. They're specially developed to reduce light reflections on the paper for a perfect matte finish to your designs. Extra break resistant, well, we'll have to test that out, and have the environment in mind with carbon neutral production, wood from certified sustainable forestry, and finish with an environmentally friendly water-based varnish. That's really nice to hear as well. I really appreciate stuff like that. The Clairefontaine paper I've already ranted and raved about because I love it. Works with charcoal graphite pencils, pastels, I like it for pastels, acrylic, watercolour and even oil paints. Oh, I don't know about that. It is an ultimate mixed media option for any artist, agreed. And the recommended retail price of this pad is only £3.99. It's not expensive paper. I think this is great value. I really, really do. The chalk pairs beautifully with charcoal and graphite as it layers and blends so easily, and it's water soluble so you can create soft washes of white. I would really like to try that out. That's a little bit more expensive. A recommended retail price of £5.80. Totally worth it by the looks of it though. Let's hope it lives up to the hype. The Goldfaber white colour pencil. Okay, so it's a standard white pencil. Excellent light fastness, outstanding colour brilliance, creamy consistency. Layers very well on multimedia projects. Well, again, we can test that out. And the recommended retail price of these open stock are £1. So, you know, very affordable. Very, very affordable. The blending stump. It's a paper blending stump for blending and smudging. Excellente. Okay, right, so let's take a wee look at our Scrawlr zine then, and we'll quick test out our supplies. And then we can take a look at our Scrawlr challenge prompt. So this is just like an overview, this first page. Save your fingers. It's fun to use fingers for blending, but sometimes you need a little more control. That's not just in pencils. They're talking about the graphite blocks here. Everyone knows graphite in pencil form, but these blocks allow you to use graphite in ways that's impossible with a pencil. And they've got this demonstration of like a big sweeping mark. Okay, here is the featured artist, Robert. Hello, Robert. I really like some of his stuff here, and there's quite a nice sort of in-depth interview with him here and some of his work down in this corner. Scrawlr tips, let's take a quick whiz through these as well. Given charcoal's consistency, it is very easy to get it everywhere. This can cause accidental smudges on your artwork, yeah. Sometimes those can be happy accidents though. And what they're saying is it's a good idea to put a clean piece of paper under your wrist and your hand when you're working to stop you smudging it. I like to use tracing paper because you can still see what you've done underneath. For me it would be this side, and if I'm over here, if I've got tracing paper, at least I can still see anything that I've drawn around here, so that's quite handy. When using the blocks, hold them with your finger resting on the front, and this makes it easier to control and creates an even pressure for consistency. What they're talking about there is what's called an overhand grip, and I'll just give you a quick demonstration. Normally if you're holding a pencil, most people will have this sort of tripod grip, and that's called that because you're using your 3 fingers to steady the pencil. When I'm sketching quite often, and especially when I'm painting, when I'm doing an undersketch or painting, I use an overhand grip, which is this way. So you can see I've got control of the pencil because I'm holding on to it here, but this gives you really accurate control. And what they're saying is to do that with your charcoal blocks. So using that overhand grip gives you, and you can steady your finger as well, again, if you're wanting to create a very, very specific line. It's really handy. It takes a wee bit of practice because it's not something that comes naturally, well, to me anyway, it doesn't, because you're taught from a very young age to hold a pencil like that. So that's worth a try as well, definitely. Change directions when you're using your charcoal blocks. This means the newest layer of charcoal will grip the previous layer, filling in all the gaps. So you're basically going that way. When layering charcoal onto graphite, you need to blend out the graphite first. This way the charcoal will have an ideal texture to cling onto. There you go, I didn't know that, that's very interesting. Go lightly with graphite pencils. It's best to start with light layers and gradually build up to create darker shadows. Tailor's chalk can be used wet or dry. Draw directly onto the page, dry for a lovely chalky texture, or try dipping in water for a more intense hue. I'm looking forward to that so much. It's saying there about using that for a wash as well. Blend it out. Your fingers are a vital tool when using charcoal. Yes, it can get messy, but fingers are great to use for smudging, blending and moving charcoal. The one thing I will say is if you're going to use your fingers, make sure your hands are washed clean and dry, because that minimises the oil transfer that comes naturally on your skin onto your paper, and it means you won't get any like grubby fingerprints on it too. Notes from the artist. The fear of white paper, basically saying that's been taken away because we're starting with a mid-tone paper. Mixing white with other drawing media to create tints. The chalk, the little tailor's chalk thing, is very useful not only to create highlights but to create a range of very useful tints to extend both media further. Place the white first in a required area in your drawing and then add either the light, medium or dark charcoal sticks into the white to create tints. To lighten a strong passage of tone, add white on top. Subtractive drawing, that's talking about using an eraser to bring out the negative space. And don't forget to use fixative. I talked about this in the other video as well, because we were talking about pastels in the Artful unboxing, and again I spoke about that. You can check it out there. Some artists will not use fixative on pastel and charcoal drawings, others will. Scrawlr Gallery, so the July 2021 box, this was great fun. This was the alcohol inks, and they were so smelly, but they were so much fun. And look at some of this. This is just amazing. I didn't actually submit a Scrawlr challenge for this. I just had fun playing about with it, and it was really, really good fun. And some of these are lovely. I really like this one here, Jasmine Coot Art, the little galaxy with the trees. That's really nice. Scrawlr Extra, so we're talking about working in black and white here, and that's my favourite thing to do. And then Robert actually talks about his artwork here. It says behind the artwork. So he's talking a little bit about how he composed the featured artwork in the box. That's really nice. I like that. So that is our Scrawlr zine. And now it's time for the moment of truth. Oh, Scrawlr challenge. Dramatic landscapes. Well, that's nice. What I'll probably do is I'll probably go for a little tramp outside. It is a lovely day outside today. So I think before I actually start to do the Scrawlr challenge, I might just go out and take a few photographs. I might even take you with me and see if we can pick an angle that might work for this. That sounds like fun. So before we go tramping about the Scottish countryside, let's test out these supplies. So I need to roll my sleeves up for this. Oh. You can see I've got a tiny little pot with some water in it here, and that's just so I can dip my charcoal stick thingamajiggery bob in it. Right, let's start with the simple things. The white coloured pencil. Paper's taking that like a boss. It's very soft and very smooth. And see, the Goldfaber watercolour pencils are the same. But it'd be interesting to see how that goes on top of other mediums as suggested. But yeah, that's popping out quite nicely on the camera. That's good, you can see that. It feels really soft. I really like these pencils. Right, the graphite matte pencils. Here's the 6B. Oh, this feels so nice. I'm going to test out how matte this really is, and I'm going to go ham here. It just feels like a normal pencil, other than the fact that it's quite dark. And it does feel more charcoaly than graphite-y. Is that a thing? It is now. If I tilt that in the light, bearing in mind I've got two massive overhead lights on, as well as the light that comes from the window. If I tilt that, you can see that there is a wee bit of shine coming off that, but not much. Excellent. That's nice. I like that. And let's try the 14B. This is outrageous. Oh, it's not as outrageous as I thought it was. It does look very charcoaly though. See if I just zoom in a little bit. Can you see that against it? Now this paper isn't that textured, but you can see just because of the grade of the pencil, oh, look how dark that is. Oh, that's nice. Naturally, because this is a 14B, it is very soft, so you're not going to keep a point for very long on your pencil. That's going to wear down pretty quickly. So let's see what happens if we just go dry. Oh yeah, it just feels like chalk. Okay. It's kind of weird to hold though. I suppose you get used to that. But can we... Oh, I thought that was going to give me like, you know, like a big sheet of chalk there, but yeah, okay, so we can wang a fair amount of it down. Look at that. Oh, this is great fun. Right, we'll check out these charcoal sticks now and the graphite sticks. So we'll start with the graphite. Now, I found, you know, you get these in different grades, but I tend to find there's not much between them, to be perfectly honest. So we'll start with the hard one. Oh God. Right, that feels like an H pencil. Oh no, that's not nice. So I'm assuming we'd maybe use that for detail, or, you know, if you wanted to create a really clean edge on something. Medium. Oh, that's better. That feels better. You know, oh, look at that. If you want to cover a big area, you can go for it. And there's so many ways, like you can try every which way with these just to see what happens, just for fun, basically. Okay, this wee space down here now, we'll try out the charcoal, which is, it feels slightly more pleasant to use than the graphite sticks, I'll say that for nothing. Right, okay, here's the light one. See, that feels much nicer, like under your hand, and it feels nicer going down on the paper. And then we've got the medium one. Oh, wow. Right, see, when I think of charcoal, this is what I think of, like really dark, smoky, smudginess. Now, here's the real test. Let's see how well any and all of this smudges. I need to know what I'm getting myself into here. Okay, so the white pencil, I'm assuming, isn't gonna do much smudging. No, as expected. Okay. What about the chalk? Oh, surprisingly, that's not really going anywhere. I am surprised at that. Right, I've got 5 fingers. So the matte graphite pencil. Again, ooh, you can soften that out, but it's not actually... See, if I just keep going there, you can see it's starting to sort of darken the paper there. Okay, so not too smudgy, which is good. And the graphite sticks here, the hard one, no. So that's the medium one. That's blending out lovely. Okay, so you can see that everything's smudged out pretty well. In terms of the graphite sticks, the hard one wasn't up to much, but the other ones are absolutely fabby. And this is, I was just having a wee practice there. This is the tailor's chalk when it's been dipped in water. And you can get some really concentrated white going down there. That's amazing. That's really cool, actually. I am totally into that. So now what I want to do is I just want to try this white pencil over the top of various things, and it's not doing much on the matte graphite, which again I kind of expected, to be honest, but it's leaving pretty good marks everywhere else. So again, probably for defined lines this would be better because it doesn't smudge out very well, but it's showing up beautifully. And while this is still wet, let's just see what happens here. Oh, messy. I wonder what happens if we do it wet over the top. Oh my goodness. Okay, well that's interesting. Oh, there seems to be an awful lot of experimenting needed here. And I am also assuming that a dry corner, let's pick a dry corner. This is not going to be a tidy and clean pursuit today. Yeah, it's going over the top of everything else, over the charcoal, over the matte graphite pencil, and over the graphite sticks as well. So that gives us lots of room for manoeuvre. If you're going to do a monochromatic box, and if you're going to do a charcoal box, this is the way to do it. A lovely selection of supplies, and not just your standard, you know, stick charcoal, willow charcoal, and a white pencil. We've got loads of things to try out here. A nice selection of graphite as well. So I think it's time to go and take some pictures and maybe find out a dramatic landscape that's going to be worthwhile of this challenge today. So obligatory doggies and a tennis ball as per, but that's not the main reason we're here. Look at my little geriatric Jack Russell. Should never even say that. Okay, so I'm thinking that maybe off in the distance there, you can see there's a hill and there's some pylons, and I thought that would be quite interesting, so I'm going to take a picture of that. But I'm more concerned and more interested in this section over here away at the back, this part here, so I'll get a little bit closer and you can see what you think and see if it'll make a good charcoal drawing. So here we are a bit closer now, and if I just zoom in you can see there, I was thinking that sort of cliff face on the right hand side. Say hi to Jock as well. That might be a good way to use light and dark, and then we've got all these trees sloping down to the left. So I think that's what I'm going to go for. There's a bit of a wood over there as well, but I think I'm going to isolate this part here and really make this into, you know, something a bit more exciting. So I think that's what we're going to go for. Time to take some photos. Ready, go! And we're off. I'm back in the cave and I have printed off some of the pictures that I took. And I mean, they really were just sort of rough snaps, but these are the ones I took when I was out with the dogs. But I also took these from further back with this camera, just to give me a sort of extra perspective. I will put one of these up on the screen for you as well, so that you can follow what's going on. Okay, so the nice thing about charcoal is it can be a really quick and easy medium to use if you so wish it to be that way. So I'm going to start with the 6B pencil, and I'm just going to use this as my sketching pencil. What I want to decide is what I'm actually making the focal point and what I'm going to do in terms of positioning, because I think I really want the focus to be this ridge. So maybe we could just omit the cows that are hanging about at the front here. So the ridge actually starts almost, well, it's actually slightly before that bend in the road. It's quite funny because I'm trying to draw this as best I can from the photograph, but obviously I know this particular area rather well, so I'm trying not to let that influence what I'm doing, which I have to say is not the easiest. And the other thing as well is just after the bend in the road, there's actually a fence here. So I remember somebody telling me that when you're working in pastel, you're supposed to work light to dark. I'm not sure entirely if the same is true of charcoal. So the first thing that I really want to try and do is get the sky quite light. So I'm just going to start with this chalk here. I have no idea if this is going to work or not, if this is going to turn out in any way, shape or form, but we're going to try. I'm trying not to press too hard here. Okay, and with my blending stump, just want to see if I can smooth this out, and it's not really happening. Maybe if I used a wet stump. This is really, the paper's not coping well with this, you know, with the water and the blending together. So I don't want to block this in completely because I want there to be this feeling that there's, you know, there's some clouds going on. So I'm using the blue of the paper to my advantage with that. It would just be nice if we could smooth this out a bit more. Now I think we'll have the grass area is going to be sort of mid-toned. I think I'll use the light charcoal to begin with, and I just want to start blocking in some of these areas. So I'm going to try and leave some of my strokes in here as well. I should not have started in this corner, this was the worst idea ever. Okay, let's blend this out a little bit. And you can see that it blends out quite lightly, that's quite nice. And with the dark graphite, I'm going to put in some of these trees. Not the dark graphite, the medium charcoal. I just want to get some shapes on the go here. Now obviously I'm not going to follow this to the absolute letter because that would be pretty tedious. I've got my 14B pencil now, and I can start adding in a little bit of detail in some of these trees. Again, we don't have to pick out every single one, but if we've got a few branches here and there. And then I can create this ridge here and really show that that's a, you know, that's a slope and it's a curve down the way off the edge of here. This is kind of starting to look like a stony ridge, and I actually quite like that idea. So I think I might just stick with that. After all, this is what things like this is all about. Maybe just soften that out a little bit. I'm just going to add in a wee bit of detail here, just make this stand out and make it look more like the ridge. And I really want to get some depth in at the bottom of these trees as well. So I'm using the darkest charcoal here. Now I think with the graphite, maybe the medium graphite, I'm not so sure about using the graphite for this, but there's a couple of little bushes and things on this ridge, and you know, they're kind of like in the sunlight, so we do want them to be there, but, and they're going to be casting a bit of a shadow as well, which is kind of difficult to do here, but yeah, that's okay. Oh, 14B. I want to get the idea that the light is sort of coming across here, and maybe we can use the white pencil just to add in little something something. I'm using the soft graphite here, and it's really just to add a bit of, you know, like of a different texture. I want quite a lot of variation in there. I'll just cover this area quickly, and then I can blend this bottom part out too. It's got a bit of texture on this bottom part, and I think I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna put in a happy little tree. I'll bring this into the foreground. Right, we're just gonna go for it. Oh, it's brave. And maybe put some more trees in the background here, just to, with the graphite, you know, just to give it some depth, and these look as if they're slightly further behind as well. The Goldfaber pencil is sharpening beautifully. Nice point there. This is a kind of like an old rickety fence. I'm trying not to put my hand in things here. So really just making that suggestion of the fence there, not doing anything crazy. I'm finding the graphite is better for a bit more control. So this is my hedge that's running down the side of the road here. I'm just wondering how much control I'm going to have with this. Actually fairly good. Now what I want to try and do is, again, I'm sorry for all the paper turning, kind of struggling to get a good end on these paper stumps just with my little sanding board. But I think I've rescued that a little bit. So I was just cleaning the graphite off of that there, so that when I'm moving around here I'm not transferring one smudgy part to another. There we are, I'm a bit happier with that. I feel like I need another tree right down here in this corner. Satisfied. Here we are, I've got the other side of my road in. But with this, with the 6B pencil, I just want to add in a little bit of a darker shade. In fact, that's the 6B's not cutting it, I'm going to have to use the 14B. But on the inside edge of this hedge, so like the road side, I want to darken that down. And then with the light, the soft graphite, I kind of need this to cast a bit of a shadow as well. So I'm just using the colour of the paper to my advantage here. There we go, just that subtle little change, that was what I was looking for. Can start in here. Oh, I got on better with the chalk, didn't I, with this? My hands are filthy. And before I do a shadow on this side, I want to just blend out my field area here. And again, I'm going to try and keep like some of my marks. I'm not going to completely blend them out, because I really want to show that this is on a slope here, and I suppose this would be the best way to do it. I kind of wish that this had come a month later, because by that time this field would have been ploughed. Oh no! Oh no! Can I blend that out? Blend it out, be fine. Shh. Don't tell anyone! Okay, so this is casting a shadow, and it's almost casting it all the way down. So if I just darken this part down first, and we'll build this up. So you can see the shadow starting to come in now. Very, very gradually, very gently. Again, I just want to get some definition here between the hedge and the edge of this darker area, which is not the easiest thing to do. So I'm really just thinking about mark making here, you know, the direction of my strokes. So we've really got that feel. If I just zoom out a little bit, you can really see that that's a hillside, and that's coming down like this. I have kind of obliterated some of my trees, which is a bit unfortunate. So I might just pop some of them back in. Sorry trees, got a bit overexcited with myself. My 6B, other than sketching out, my 6B's not really been an awful lot of use to me, has it? And I'm finding that this 14B isn't dark enough. Is that making a difference? It doesn't look like it's making a difference from where I'm standing, but never mind. Right, let's try and sharpen this, because I want to get a decent point. So I'm using my Tagal multi-sharpener, my kind of go-to sharpener, because you can put different length of point settings on. So 5 is a really long, skinny, pointy point, and 1 is a very short, fat, stubby point. So I'm going to go somewhere in the middle. I'll go number 3, and I just want to see how this sharpens, because they were bragging about their super not breakable lead, and that is absolutely perfect. And it feels quite sturdy, like it feels like quite a strong point as well. So I really like that. I'm impressed with that. So again, just the same thing here. I'm just kind of trying to put in a bit of definition here around some of the areas of this hedge, you know, so that it's standing out a bit as well. We need contrast, and because we're on mid-tone, paper, we're kind of concentrating on the darkest darks and the lightest lights, because obviously the mid-tone part's already been done for us. There we go. So literally just a couple of little scribbles makes all the difference, and it makes that head just stand out a little bit more. So what I'm feeling now is that up the top here, this is just starting to look a bit kind of like blech and washed out. So I'm going to go back in. You know, I feel like my white's kind of disappeared a little bit. So I'm just going to put another layer over that. And again, maybe, you know, I'll bring this down a bit so that we can see that this is starting to fall away at this side as well. And I just want to start blending out this shadow here because it stops quite abruptly there. And I do want this to be quite gradual. And maybe some of the light's actually falling onto this side as well. Just if I follow this curve right the way round, then it's going to maybe catch just a little bit there. And again, the problem is with this, it doesn't blend out well. But if I blend it with the charcoal that's already on my stump, that might, well. And I feel like a bit of the medium graphite just in this part of the road there, because that's technically going to be in shadow. And bring that down, and I can maybe blend that out a little bit. Just make sure the end of my stump's looking a bit better. Yeah, these stumps, they're not great for holding a point, so if you're looking for, you know, real precision with your blending stump, it's not really happening here. There we go, that's better. That's much better. So you can see quite clearly, and it is actually more obvious on the camera, you can see where the area in shadow is, and you can see where the area where the light's hitting as well. So I'm actually quite pleased with this. I don't know whether I should have more white on my trees, but just with the background, I don't want them to merge in to the sky too much. I feel like these trees up here could be taller, but if I make them taller, I think they're going to look a bit odd, because they do look as if they're really far off in the distance, which is kind of what I was hoping for. So I think I'll just leave it be. This is one of these things where I could just keep going, and I have a terrible tendency to do that, and that, as she says, picking up the chalk again, and you all know I'm bad for it. This is something that I actually really enjoy doing, stuff like this. This is kind of like up my street, because you can create something with very few strokes and it looks good. Or you can really take your time and do something super detailed, like our featured artist. I mean, his artwork's amazing. You know, and you can really kind of go ham with it. So that's, you know, you've got so many options with that, but I've been having great fun here. I'm kind of like, oh, let's just put in some grass or something here. You know, there might be some crops or something in here. Whose idea was it to start messing it? Oh, that looks quite good actually. Okay. Not finished. Hashtag not finished yet. Okay. Right, I'm going to stop at that. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed yourself today. I've had great fun. These supplies are excellent. I'm happy with everything. I don't see me using the hard graphite very much in stick form because it's not that manoeuvrable. Again, if I just grab it and show you on here, you know, if you were to use it, the advantages of it being in stick form. Here, maybe in a bigger piece you could use it for some sort of texture, but you're limited to how you can blend it out as well. So I think unless you're really experienced, then maybe a really hard graphite stick like this might not be too much use to you, but everything else certainly. I really like this 14B pencil, and that's going to be added to my my repertoire, I think. And the 6B has its place. I just feel like with this particular paper as well, in this colour, it wasn't really much help other than being a sketching pencil. But it depends on the nature of your artwork as well. If someone was doing a much lighter piece using more graphite than charcoal, because obviously I've kind of leant towards the charcoal, then this could be considerably more helpful. Here I go again. Stop, Jem, just stop. Right, okay guys, that's it for today. I would love to hear your thoughts on the box, and if you have any thoughts on the combination of supplies, etc. And if you have any plans, and if you're excited about this box, or whether you couldn't give two hoots. I like to hear it all, so get yourself down into the comments and let's start a little conversation. Just want to thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you coming and hanging out. It would be really nice if you could hit a like on the video as well. That would be really helpful. And I will see you back in the cave on Thursday for another video. So have a great day everyone, and bye for now.